My name is Sofia Händel, not related to the composer, unfortunately. I work for municipality of Norrtälje, which is a municipality about 70 kilometers north of Stockholm. And we participate in an Interreg project named Quadruple Helix Central Baltic. So I'm here today to present this project to you. And this project actually shares the themes of this conference. It's gender and ICT, and we are involved in the Baltic Sea region. There we go. Yes, 2-year Interreg project. We have been going on for a year now, and we have 1 more year to go. It's actually joint efforts of authorities, universities, entrepreneurs, and civil society actors, or NGOs, in 3 countries, Estonia, Finland, and Sweden. And it's actually the regions that are involved are coastal and archipelago areas. And we can thank the Central Baltic Interreg 4A program and also Tillväxtverket through the Women Resource Center program for our existence, because they are our funders. So what we do in practice, it's gender equality project combining clusters and entrepreneurship. And when it comes to ICT, we focus on mobile solutions or mobile applications as our thing. And basically what we've done, we are initiating a small-scale cluster or a network of tourism entrepreneurs in this region. And basically SMEs, or very micro enterprises, small companies, forming this network in each country and promoting cross-border relations between them. And the idea behind the program, or the project, is to strengthen women-owned businesses through cooperation, collaboration, international contacts, and capacity building in ICT. And as I said, mobile services are our focus area within ICT. The name Quadruple Helix almost always raises questions. But I suppose you here in the audience are quite familiar with the triple helix perspective, or that type of working model, where you join the efforts of researchers, the private sector, the industries and company, and public sector. And in order to sort of promote entrepreneurship or innovation systems and so on. But in this project we added a fourth sector, and that is the civil society perspective through 3 NGOs. So we have Municipality of Norrtälje and Stockholm County Administrative Board, so are the 2 authorities. We have KTH, Royal Institute of Technology, and the Finnish university named Åbo Academy, and Saaremaa University Center. So we have 3 universities, 1 from each country involved, and then 3 NGOs, a tourism organization from Länemaa in Estonia, and Baltic Fem, who are from Norrtälje, a women resource center who actually were initiated this project. And then Eurohouse is also an NGO from Estonia. And then as an additional partner we have Win It Europe. Before I go through a little bit more of the practice, what we do in the project, I just want to say a few words of the thoughts behind the project and the ideas, because they are quite vivid, so to say, in our project structure or working model. And will refer to a study made by researcher Malin Lindberg on public promotion of clusters and innovation systems in Sweden, and which industries and branches that are prioritized. And I don't know if you see that little small pie chart, but her study showed that in almost half of the cases, the public funding went to basic industries and manufacturing industries. 33% to new technologies. I will go through which branches that are included in that theme later on. And then 20% to service and experience industries, so to say. And then if you have a look on the gender distribution in these branches, you see that men-dominated industries, that where men are or more than 60% of the employees and the entrepreneurs are men. That's ICT, mining, agriculture, telecom, biotech, data. And that goes into these new technologies and basic industries and manufacturing. That, as we saw, almost 80% of the cases were prioritized in public funding and innovation policy. And then balanced branches are, for instance, media and entertainment, tourism, healthcare, and then women-dominated as well. You see healthcare, personal services, retail. Yes. So with this in mind, this is very, like, gender equality is really the storyline in the Quadruple Helix project. And the ones who initiated it really wanted to address some measures to sort of change the situation. And one measure is named inclusions, and inclusion, and it means that you include sectors employing many women in this public support of clusters of innovation systems and so on. And in our case, we focus on the gender-balanced tourism industry to make sure that women entrepreneurs and employees get part of the funding, so to say. And the other measure is called bridging, where you sort of bridge women-dominated branch with a male-dominated branch, so to say, to create creative connections and cross-fertilizations and so on. And in the quadruple case, we combine the tourism industry with ICT and telecom to sort of bridge it together. And we also have this work package as part of our project, mainly focusing on gender mainstreaming and policy development, so to say, and that is to increase the knowledge and awareness among business promoters, policymakers, and so on how one can promote gender equal clusters and innovation systems. And we will also design and implement models, methods, and tools for gender mainstreaming in this type of promotions. So the idea is that other projects and initiatives will have checklists and methods that they can use in practice. Yes. And also really to highlight the thing that more promotion of entrepreneurs should go to gender equal or branches or industries where many women are active. And then to the practical part, our own cluster initiative. Well, I also would like to say that it's a bit theory behind the project with inclusion and bridging, but it's always, of course, there's a practical component in it as well, otherwise it wouldn't be successful. And as I said, the participating regions are coastal and archipelago areas. In Roslagen here in Sweden, and the area around Saaremaa and Hiiumaa in Estonia, that is Dage, Ösel, West Estonia, and then the archipelago around Turku. So these areas, tourism is a really, really important industry, both for employment and for economy. So of course it's in the interest of the local community to develop that industry. And we have our little small-scale cluster consisting of about 15 to 20 tourism entrepreneurs in each country. And we are calling them the E-teams, the entrepreneur teams. And they participate in a local development program with the training, seminars, workshops, and it's really a bottom-up perspective. What this group feel that we have, their needs are sort of building up this program, which seminars, or where do we want to and need to have more knowledge, for instance. And the big thing is actually to, with these cluster principles, both compete and collaborate, and really find collaboration between the entrepreneurs. Because since they are small, really micro enterprises, a very good way for them to grow or to expand or develop their business is to actually to join their efforts with other small-scale companies. And that's where a network can actually play a key role. And the other thing is for small enterprises, in order to take part of this mobile development that is really taking off now, and to do it in an early stage. Maybe you don't have the resources and time on your own, but if you create a network and maybe a new business model, then you can actually provide this type of services together with your colleagues, so to say. And ICT and mobile services. This is really something that most researchers and people really believe that it will play a really key role in tourism industry in the future. And actually the tourism industry can get a competitive advantage by creating services and provide information on mobile phones and make it available there. And it really makes sense because when we are traveling, it's not so often that we bring our computer maybe, or we don't have internet access. But the phone, a personal device that we always carry with us. And that's why it's a very good platform for tourism companies to sort of build their services on and reach out with their information or whatever. Yes. And our entrepreneur teams, they and this network take part in like a training program or in general around research around ICT and mobile services. The point is we are collaborating with the Åbo Academy and their ICT institution in Finland. And the point is really to develop new applications or mobile services that are based on the needs of these participating entrepreneurs. And we will have the chance to realize some of the ideas on new services within the project. At least one for each country, but hopefully even more. So we will create software or programs and that can be tested during the project. And of course, hopefully it will really be rings on water, that this new knowledge and awareness, so to say, and will create spin-offs, both for the entrepreneurs but also other stakeholders within. I mean, a tourism destination consists of so many actors, and we can already see that it has raised awareness a lot in municipality of Norrtälje and Roslagen of these services, which is good. And results so far, a year into the project. Well, we see that this network is really starting to function. The members do business together, creating packages and so on, mainly now on local level. And now next step, we are connecting the groups so they can do business together or cross-border. And these mobile solutions can actually solve practical matters. We have some really good innovations coming up where you can pay things with your mobile phone that will actually help the one who owns a hotel or a bed and breakfast where you are not always there yourself. So you can let the guests in and they can be with the code, and then you get the payment through the phone. That's one little innovation. Before, the guests at this bed and breakfast, they left their money under the pillow, which is actually also nice. But, and we have, through a lot of workshops and brainstorming process, we are focusing a lot on routes to sort of create our cluster or geographical cluster. And Archipelago Circle Road in Finland, and Roslagsleden, which is a hiking track from Danderyd in Stockholm to Grisslehamn up north in the archipelago, and then in West Estonia as well, to sort of create routes and packages. And so a lot of our entrepreneurs collaborate both with their business, but it will also be the sort of platform for new mobile application around these routes. So it will be really interesting to follow to see what is happening. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Questions? You're so shy. I can add something according to the technical stuff, because I'm a member of the steering group, so I'm a little bit familiar with this project. And according to this application for the mobile phones, so is it written in what I roughly transformed to open source code? So because it's financed by public money, so it will be open. If someone of you is reading computer magazine, you have been heard about the Linux program, the software. So it's similar to that. So it will be no problem to add more and more development to this open source code.
Exactly.
And I have a question to you, even if I'm in the steering committee, because you have met this within the project. You have met these female entrepreneurs. How they look upon their own enterprises, their small micro entrepreneurship. Because if you're looking around, still this male, this gender stereotypical male breadwinner attitude is because men often say that the women is a part-time business, or you know, this kind of attitude. How they define their business themselves?
Well, of course, there are about 45 entrepreneurs participating, so can't be too general in describing it. But we have a quite wide range. Some do have to, because they are tourism entrepreneurs, they have their peak season during the summer and work a lot then, and then many of them work with something else as employees during the winter. But I don't know if that's gendered or if it's more a result of that they are tourism entrepreneurs in Northern Europe, where the weather is determining that. But it's quite, we made a study or interview study with the entrepreneurs and how they saw their own gender, so to say, and they really explicitly said that they didn't want to be characterized as a woman entrepreneur. They were entrepreneurs in their own eyes, and so that's quite interesting, though.